Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for the one and only World Improv Network comedy show on Mile High Sports Radio. Take part in the show by giving your suggestions or questions to the cast for each show segment throughout the week, or live during the show by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, on Twitter at World Improv Net, or by calling in to Mile High Sports Radio studio line. Now, enjoy the show. It's local. It's global. You're listening to WIN World Local News.
WIN World Local News on Mile High Sports Radio. I'm Potter Smittss. Breaking news into the WIN World Local News Sports Desk from WIN Sports reporter Fired Up Frank, who's driving back to the USA from the Rio Summer Olympics and has had made a pit stop in Bogota, Colombia for the 2016 International Cupcake Championships. How's the road trip and the competition going, Fired Up?
Oh, Potter, I am so fired up right now. You could say I'm fired up on Colombian sugar because that's exactly what I'm fired up on. Oh! I have been going on this cupcake competition for 17 straight hours, and Potter, I have no signs of stopping in my future. I wasn't even in the competition, but I jumped in, and they are not going to stop me from eating every gold darn cupcake in this country. But I tell you, there are white cupcakes, there are powdered cupcakes, there are more white cupcakes, and I don't care that they get all over my face, and I can't even feel my face right now, Potter, and these cupcakes are just so darn freaking good, and I don't know what they're putting in them down here in Colombia, but you gotta get down here. Potter, come on down, come join me. You and I will just eat cupcakes all night long. We'll find some ladies, we'll have cupcakes together, Potter. Come and hang out, man.
Wow, Fired Up. That might be the best assignment you ever had. I've never seen you be so happy at an event. Well, anyway, I hope you survives, and let's move on to our next breaking story, which is brought to us by WIN contributor Julian of Tulsa, Oklahoma. On the exact same weekend as Pope Francis canonized Mother Teresa as a saint, a record-setting 5.6 magnitude earthquake nudged the state of Oklahoma, while Hurricane Hermine still lingers to threaten the U.S. East Coast. Are these merely cataclysmic coincidences, or is Mother Earth, Mother Teresa, or some other power trying to tell us something? Well, to rock to the bottom of the story and flood it with details, let's check in with WIN weather and spirituality reporter Tulip Sunspring, who's live at the Vatican in Rome, Italy. Tulip?
Yes, hello, Potter. There's definitely more than just physical phenomena occurring. There is something beyond us in what we can see with our eyes, with our ears, with our taste buds. There is something greater connecting us all. And Pope Francis, I think he's well aware of it. I think he's in on it. I think there is some kind of spiritual puppetry at place that is pulling the strings of these weather phenomena, these hurricanes, these earthquakes, and even these clouds right now. As Pope Francis speaks and waves his hands, gesticulates and whatnot with his palms facing up, clouds do appear to be covering. They do appear to be covering the area. Now, these clouds are not separating, but they are gathering. And when he turns his hands over, palms facing down, they do seem to clear. That is that the clouds do seem to evacuate the area. They do seem to leave the sky. And these are just, it could be a coincidence. It could be, but I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure. I have conviction, and I have belief, and I have other experiences from traveling around this world. I have been to the top of Everest. I have been close to the center of the earth. I mean, as close as a person can get. I mean, it's still a ways away. I'm not sure about the exact distance, but I've been in some pretty deep caverns. I've been to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. That was beautiful. I've been in the treetops of the Amazon. I have been to Cloud City, the one in Star Wars. I've been there. I don't think I reported there because there was a discrepancy in the broadcast. There's technical difficulties in Cloud City because the cloud coverage is very dense. Anyway, Pope Francis is retreating into his little hobbit hole. I have to go now.
Pope Francis in the Hobbit Hole. Lovely, Tulip. Thank you for that reporting. On to our next top story, which is brought to us by WIN contributor Tasha of New York, New York. A full-on musical chairs is underway as rap, country, pop, and rock artists are all vying to find their exclusive musical homes on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Pandora, and even Jay-Z's Tidal music streaming service. What artists will land where, and how will this affect music lovers all across the world? To drop a beat on this story, let's go live to WIN music reporter Sam Smith, who's reporting from New York City. Sam?
Yes. Thank you, Potter. It's a pleasure to be here in New York City and talking to some of the many artists who are dealing with the same problems I am of how do I get my music out to the people who actually want it. And I have several of these artists here with me right now. First and foremost, Mr. Bob Dylan. First off, Mr. Dylan, big fan.
Thank you.
Now, you have made the decision to not allow your music to be on any of the streaming services.
No, man. Listen, I'm from the folk tradition, and I'll tell you what, emphysema is hard.
Yeah, and yet you insist that in that folk tradition, you're only going to deliver your music one-on-one, person to person.
That's right. That's the way music was intended to be heard, from the mouth of the babe to the ear of the whole, from the strumming of the string to the wiggle of the ear hairs that vibrate.
Mr. Dillon, I had no idea you were so into anatomy. Thank you for joining me.
Belly up.
Now, one of the many artists who has just given in and absolutely can't wait to get their music on a streaming service. I'm here with actually both of the Indigo Girls. Welcome, girls.
Hi!
Hello!
Sam, you're such my hero.
Oh, well, you're heroes of mine as well. I've always wanted to bring more of a lesbian voice to my music, and you've truly inspired me in that respect.
I don't know if we're too old for you, but 3 lesbians right here could have a lot of fun in New York. What do you think?
I'm happy to spread the music through love.
Well, that's...
Love making.
Well, Potter, it sounds like I've found other plans. Back to you.
Indigo Girls, Sam Smith. What a collaboration that would be. Now for a look at the global weather. Let's check back in with Tulip Sunspring, who teleported to the Burning Man Festival in Black Rock, Nevada. What you doing at Burning Man, Tulip? And congratulations on the successful teleportation.
Thank you very much. As you can hear behind me, those are the embers burning the man, the famous Burning Man, the stick, the big pile of sticks that are assembled into the shape of a man. They're burning. This is the traditional rite of all Burning Man attendees. People place their treasured objects at the altar, and then they just blow it up. And there is soot. There's ash floating through through the air. You can hear people chanting behind me. This is some kind of ritualistic chant that they perform. And I can tell you right now that it's dark. It's nighttime now. It's hard to tell if there are clouds. You can see the moon though. And now that I'm looking, my eyes were closed for a second, so I couldn't see. But my eyes are open now, literally, and they've figuratively always been open. But I'm just wide-eyed in wonder to this world, and that people can and do this. Okay. Bye.
Wow, great reporting again on that weather, Tulip. And thank you all for tuning in to WIN World Local News on Mile High Sports Radio. I'm Potter Smittss. Stay tuned for Community Court next on the World Improv Network.
Give the WIN cast your suggestions via Facebook, Twitter, or by calling into the Mile High Sports Radio studio line during the break for a case that needs to be tackled during Community Court. Next on Mile High Sports Radio.